there, I'm Sarah Arciniega, and today I will be sharing my first ever layout share. So with the transition from Close to My Heart to Stampin' Up, I decided it would be a good time to put my pages away in their final albums. I've had them in kind of an album that I can show people to show some of the neat, products that Close to My Heart carried. So now I will, put my Stampin' Up stuff in that binder, and so these need to go to their other albums. And so this was the first page I did with Close to My Heart. It was from the Home for Christmas workshop. And when I saw it, though, the page was really cute, but I just went to Disney. Like, that's where my head went. And I had just bought these stamps on clearance. And so I think that's probably why my head went to Disney. I was so excited to use them. But you can see that I just have some Mickey heads. I actually just made those with circles in the Cricut app, and I really like the way that one turned out. If you've been following me, you know that I've been making a Christmas album, and so I am using the Home for Christmas collection from Close to My Heart for that. And I have 4 Christmases done, 2 started, and quite a few left to do after that. But this was 2013. I love the little Christmas alpha that I used there. I never did get my hands on the really popular letter dies and number dies, so I just went ahead and used my Cricut for those. Here's another one from the Home for Christmas collection. This one's pretty simple. I love a good grid layout. The pattern paper does a lot of the work for you, and that's pretty simple. So this one was from the workshop. I followed it pretty closely to the directions, and I still actually need to add my journaling to this one, but this is a really fun Christmas to remember that will be part of that Christmas book. I'm also loving how, because I use the same collection, there's like continuity. This is a page I did that I used the catalog as my source of inspiration. They had some word art with the Thankful stamp set, and so I took that idea and used a bunch of my Christmas stamps and created that same look. And here, I kind of wish that I would have made the pictures, like put the pictures on top of it instead of having it just like as a standalone, because I think that would have been a better look, but hindsight's 2020. But overall, I'm glad that it's done and that it can go in that Christmas album. While I'm pulling in my next one, I will let you know that I have made a playlist of all of these YouTube videos that have process videos. Many of them do, a few of them don't, but if you're interested in watching any full-length process videos, there will be a playlist link down below. I love this page here. I did the flip-flops and recorded a bunch of memories of time that I spent on my friend's farm growing up. I made the down on the farm and really antiqued it up with my ink pad, and I really like the way that turned out. This page documents the nativity that we do. I used the adorable nativity stamp set, and my inspiration came from the catalog. And I love the little cityscape with the stars up in the sky. So this next one is from the Cozy Up collection. I went ahead and did the left page like the workshop instructed me to do, but then the second page I wanted to do quite a bit different because I was documenting some books that I read together with my kids, and so I wanted to tie them together, and so I used the books there, and then the yellow, I tied that in, and then the dashes. These are just simply images that I got off of Google and then turn them into like little pictures, and they, with the flip-flop, kind of almost look like a little book. Some of them have decorative things, some of them tell the story. There's some additional pictures. This is a picture of my son who carried that book around like it was his best friend for a little while. And so I love that I have this in his album to document our love of reading together. I always loved the monthly specials that Close to My Heart had. This one was from the I Want Candy collection, and it documents just a Halloween with 2 of my kids in their costumes. The sparkle paper, the glitter paper, I guess that's what it's called. I love that as a border, and the spiderweb die cuts that were some of my favorite. This was actually the layout for my first YouTube video. In the journaling, I tell the story of my daughter, just watching her become an amazing gift giver. I used the ornament die cut. I think that will be used again, and the glitter paper really is a nice touch there. This actually uses the Evergreen collection. It was kind of a Christmassy winter set, but because I live in the South, I don't use those very often. So here it is with some forest animals, and it tells the story of my 2-year-old that she hiked and really did most of it on her own, and I made some of my own pattern paper using those same trees that you can see around the journaling, and then also actually used a background stamp on a brown piece of paper to make my own pattern paper there, and love those little animals, so cute. This next layout also uses the Evergreen collection. In this layout, I actually went more with the gray tones, and I think it's interesting. The previous layout used more like the tans and the browns, and this one I pulled in more of the grays, and it just gives it a different look. But I love the little journaling tag. I finally did get some twine in my process video. I used paper for my ribbon, but I finally did get some twine. That one, I love the borders on the side, and that some of the zip strips made that pretty easily to put together. And here we have Gnomes for Winter. I almost didn't buy this collection because I live here in the South and we just don't have a lot of wintry events happen, but we did get a crazy winter storm one year, and so it was the perfect collection to document that. The snowflake paper did a lot of the work for me, but I did add some additional snowflakes, put some little sparkles in the center there, and these trees, I just love these trees. This is actually the only spread I've used them on, but I suspect that they will make an appearance again. So the next layout also uses Gnomes for Winter, but it does not look wintry at all. I just pulled the neutral patterns. There was a cute plaid and a stripe, and this tells the story of my son trying different sports and a goal that he set to do so. This is from the Let's Party collection. These are pictures of my kids turning 2 years old, of course different years, but this is all from when they turned 2. And there again, I love a good grid, and use some of the cute pattern paper from that collection. Here we have another layout where I did not stick to the theme of the collection. This is from the Let's Party collection, but instead of birthday, I documented a fun time that I would have with my nieces as we played airplane and Froggy. The star paper in the middle was kind of an accident. It started out as a scatter and didn't look quite right, and so I kept adding, and eventually I was like, oh, I just need to put it everywhere, and so we made a star pattern on the paper there. The next two layouts feature the Love Notes collection. This is a story about the 100th day of school with my first graders, but it also tells another story. I was dating this guy who eventually became my husband, and I actually took 100 little strips of paper that had things I adored about him written on them and put them in balloons, and then I gave him this balloon bouquet right around the 100th, or it was actually on the 100th day of school. And so here's another one featuring the Love Notes collection. This one is all about a visit that my sister and her family made, and it couldn't have worked better for the clothing we had on. This is my niece in the pink, and then I'm in the red, and it just, even though that wasn't on Valentine's Day, it worked really well with this collection. I do still need to do my strip journaling over there in the blank spot, but love the banners. This is such a classic layout, and the teddy bear and hearts make great accents in the clusters. So now I'm going to transition to Stampin' Up Products. This is my most recent YouTube video. This is done actually using a card kit from Stampin' Up, and I actually, because it was a card kit, I did not have any pattern paper, and so I made my own using there are 2 different gear stamps. I also showed how you could use your embossing machine to add some interest if you don't have pattern paper as well, and that's what I'm pointing out there. And then I have some stickers as well as some stamps, and then the gears, the large gears, are from my Cricut. I've had a lot of fun playing with the Take to the Sky collection from Stampin' Up. This is a page that I did with that collection, and you can see the stamps, and the tag I made actually has a close to my heart stamp on it. But this was documenting the first day of school. I was in a new state, at a new school. It was actually a brand new school, and we were actually the flyers, and our mascot was a vintage plane. And so this set was just amazing for that. And then I used the Take to the Sky kit or collection to document one of the air museums that we've been to. This one's in Seattle, and I will go ahead and put links below. This one is actually still available, as is the robot kit, and I will put links for those below. You can see I did a light wash of blue behind the clouds, and then I really like the diagonal of this page. This page actually is part of a collaboration that I often take part in. It's every third Friday of the month that I do with some crafty friends, and we are making our way through the Close to My Heart, Make It From Your Heart idea book. This is the last layout I have to share. It's another one from Take to the Sky, and it is my class at that school I was just telling you about. This plane is a standalone die, and I love it. I actually took the base of the plane and really inked it up. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you feel inspired.